We hear about the rise of disinformation and fake news, and I think, of course, we have to take this seriously when we're working as an institution and as researchers to have science to policy engagement. I can only talk from my experience here at the Institute, and I think the sort of science to policy engagement is very much about trust, societal trust, institutional trust. And I think that has two elements for us here as researchers. And partly it's the trust in the research that we're producing, that it's very high quality, and also trust in the institution. And what I find is that we invest significant attention to ensuring that our research is high quality and also that we can be trusted as an institution. And that's about engaging and being reliable in the work that we're doing within this policy space. I think it's also the case, in my experience here, that with a rise of disinformation and fake news, because we are producing high quality research, actually demand is rising because it can be trusted. At the Nordic Africa Institute, we specialise in social science of contemporary Africa. So in the broadest possible sense, we are studying African societies from a social, political and economic perspective. We like to ground that understanding in empirical research conducted on the continent, so in field-based research in different African countries and with different groups of people. Very often that is research that's done in collaboration with researchers from local universities and research institutions. Why is this important, or what insight does this give? I think there can be many responses to that question, but from my perspective, I think it gives insight into people's lives and their life circumstances. It helps us to understand what changes are happening on the continent in different places. Also to give insight into people's perspectives on the challenges they confront, but also the solutions that they identify to those challenges. I think it can give depth of insight, it can add nuance, it can challenge simple stereotypes about the continent and show the complexity. So field-based research can give an insight into the social, political and economic dynamics of contemporary Africa. And I think this is what it can bring to the table for Nordic policy making. Our mission is to deepen understanding amongst Nordic decision makers and associated change makers about contemporary African perspectives and societal dynamics. What do decision makers need? They need knowledge that's robust, that's reliable, that's timely, that's accessible. So as researchers, we need to understand the policy environment. The type of knowledge that we produce is intangible in a way. It's not a particular product or service. So with this in mind, what we're doing is policy influencing. And that policy influence very much comes down to, in my experience here at the Nordic Africa Institute, to a dialogue and to shared understanding and to learning from policy makers. So actually as researchers, very often we're listening to what their priorities are, what values are within the policy space at a particular time, and trying to understand how our knowledge can be made accessible and appropriate within that particular policy context.